before we get into this, I want to say I am not the best with setbacks. I struggle with them. So this video is equally for me as it is for you guys. Recently, times have been a little bit upside down for me. Not bad's a bit extreme, but upside down. My computer had issues, which I've told you guys about. Then last week I was really unwell, stomach aches. I couldn't eat. I wasn't really comfortable at all. I going to the toilet was an issue, and I know that's like TMI, but it was, and it just is. That's just the truth. So it was I couldn't. I was really unwell. And then this week I have developed. It's a little bit better now. Toothache, and I'm fed up. I'm so done. I'm up to here right now, and I just want to give up. I so many parts of me want to give up and just say, well, this is fricked now. But I can't, and I shouldn't, and I won't, because life is setbacks. I've discussed this a number of times in videos to some degree or another, but I think it's important to say life is setbacks. We don't become the people, sorry, let me finish that thought and I'll go to the example I've just thought of. We don't become the people we want to be with an easy life. Actually, I heard that the other day. It's going to come back to me. But the example I always think of, and I've never actually watched Malcolm in the Middle, I want to watch it, but I haven't, is that in one of the episodes, that I think it's the final episode of Malcolm in the Middle, his parents sabotage something for him, and he's saying why do you do it? And why did you do it? And his mom says, mother says, you are not meant to have the easy path to success, because when you get to that success, I want you to realize what it's like for the little people, for the people who you have been, for the people you know what they're going through. If you shoot to the top, you have no empathy for these people, you won't help these people, you are not the right person for that role, essentially. It's a better monologue than what I'm giving. Go and look it up, you'll see what I mean. But they're basically saying that if someone doesn't go through hardship, they haven't got character, they aren't the person they need to be. So we all want an easy life, and I say that a lot myself actually. I just want things to be easy. Why can't things be easy? But we wouldn't be the people we want to be if it was easy. You can't be both. You can't be a deep, caring, intellectual, loving person and have no kind of bearing for those things to have developed from. So there's that, first of all, right? But then we have to look at and think about how we deal with setbacks. There's two kind of acceptable ways. Well, let's first say that these acceptable ways are only acceptable if you are accepting them yourself. If you have a setback, let's say last week I was unwell, and I felt I couldn't do a video. Okay, is that a reason to not do it? Yeah, because I really didn't feel comfortable actually. I didn't feel like I could make something worthwhile. Okay, right, I have valid reasons. If I said, oh, I have a nose, if my nose is runny, let's say, and I could blow it and then make a video, or I felt a little tired or a little achy, is that a valid reason? Well, no, it sounds like you're making excuses. There's two sides to that coin. Are you the setback? Or is the thing the setback? Are you using something as a reason not to do something? Or is that thing an actual reason as to not to do something? Does that make sense? Think of it as like going to an event, a party. If you are being sick, you've literally gone and been sick. Yeah, you can't go to the party because you'll be sick everywhere. And that won't be good for you. That won't be good for the other party goers, right? But if you have decided to, I don't know, let's say your feet hurt. You're using that as an excuse not to go. There's a little difference. Still, not saying that that's bad. You know, you can decide what you want to do within your own life. But what I'm getting across is there are legitimate reasons that inform a setback, and the setbacks that we inform the legitimate reason for, so to speak, the reason. So either you accept the setback and you're okay with it, or you accept the setback and you do something about it. You say, right, okay. For example, the other day, I wanted to stream on my gaming channel, but loads of new information came out for a game I wanted to cover. And so I accepted that I wouldn't be able to stream because I needed to make a video on these things. It was a setback, yeah, but a necessary one. Sometimes it's about rest, right? Sometimes we have to take a step back to rest to be able to do the bigger thing down the line. So last week, I didn't manage to make a video on here, but I did manage to do everything else. And sadly, this was the one kind of acceptable loss, which isn't great, but it is what it is. I got to make myself be able to do my things that I needed to do in the week. And today was the same thing. It was a setback. I wanted to record this morning, but I didn't have all that energy at that time. So I left it. And I've come to later in the day, you know, almost 12 hours later, and I've went, okay, I have the energy now. I can do this now. I can talk about this now. I formulated my opinions, my thoughts, my ability to actually make this video. And so I make it, right? So sometimes you have to retreat, you know, the 2 steps forward, 3 steps, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, you know. It's the opposite of the kind of, you know, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, which is what I nearly just said. Because, you know, sometimes we have those setbacks, but we can make those into progress. You know, you can make that into a progress in a physical, logical, factual, scheduling sense. Or you can make that into an emotional, you know, well-being sense, right? There's so many different ways you can deal with a problem. So often we think that a problem just starts and ends. It's so big, it's so much bigger than that. There's so many more facets to it. We can change how we react to a situation. I forget this. You guys probably forget this. Because in that moment we want to just be upset. We want to be depressed, sad. Because we feel validated. Right? We feel like that's what we should be doing. We feel like that's okay. And it is. But could we do something even more than that? Could we build ourselves in this moment? Could we do something in this moment that takes us to that next level? Builds our character, makes us stronger. You know? I feel like I am dealing with a lot of different things that are coming up slowly that aren't big things, but are making me into a better person. Work-wise, life-wise, you know, content-wise, streaming-wise, gaming-wise, you know, all that type of stuff. But only because I am acting on those moments. I'm saying, right, okay, how do I make my thumbnails better? For these videos that I do on this channel, I leave them generally as is because I feel like they're very authentic. On my podcast, my nerd podcast, I've started kind of doing them in such a way that they kind of do like a little bit of a shock factor, but not that's clickbait. And then on my gaming channel, I try and do a mix. Try and do things that are just telling you exactly what they are, and then some that try and entice people in. Like, you've got to try different things. You've got to accept the setback. You've got to understand that what you're doing might not work out, because that's the other side of it, right? A setback can be that you need to experiment. You need to try something different. You need to try something new. I reorganized my Discord not long ago to kind of make my podcast and other stuff longer and kind of like incorporate new ideas and try and get more collaborations going with friends and stuff like that. It hasn't all worked out, sadly, but but some of it has, and some of it has produced new ideas and new ways of doing things, and that's great, right? So sometimes you gotta push, you just gotta try new things, you gotta go outside of the box, and you will sometimes fail. Failure is not as bad as we all have been made to think, treated by others. Failure is not bad. We are not failures because we failed. Similarly, you're not bad. It's funny because I've just watched the new Lilo and Stitch movie, and besides that not being the best movie ever, it isn't. There is an important line in there. Am I bad? You know you're not bad. You just do bad things sometimes. I think that's true of the same situation I've just said. Are we a failure just because we fail sometimes? No. Does that also mean that we're a success just because we succeed sometimes? No. Not always. And I think that's important to remember for those people we see succeeding. Don't be bitter. Don't be jealous. It's hard sometimes. It is. Let's be real. Let's not pretend we are anything other than human. It's hard to see other people succeeding sometimes. But understand that they might be succeeding in this, but failing elsewhere, or feel inadequate, or feel similar to you. They might not be actually succeeding the way you think they are. It's all perspective, it's all the way you frame it, it's all the way you try and do things about what you're feeling. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm feeling setback currently, and I'm going to try and work on it. And I hope you guys feel like you can come and work on your setbacks with me. And maybe, hopefully, we can actually make some progress together. If you guys feel the same, or you feel maybe slightly differently, or you want to have a talk about it, as always, please leave a comment. Let me know how you feel. If you enjoyed this video, think about subscribing as well. And I'll see you guys soon for more. I hope you have a great relaxation, a great rest of your night, a great day, a great study session, whatever you're doing. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.